Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the 8-Bit Retro Refix. And on this week's episode, we're going to be taking a look at a CD32. This CD32 I picked up off Facebook, in one of the Facebook groups. I was told that when you first switch it on after it's been turned off for a period of time, it takes a while before it comes on. I did test the unit. It takes roughly about 10 minutes to 15 minutes before even anything happens. You get nothing on screen at all, period. Absolutely zero. No signal, no nothing, no disk turn. All you get is a power light. So we're going to tear it down and we're going to take a look and see what's going on inside this CD32 to see if we can rectify that issue. So just before we do that, I would like to say thank you very much. We've hit 1,000 subscribers. It's absolutely awesome. Never even thought for a minute that I would be getting anywhere near the subscriber count that we've got. So I just want to thank you to everybody out there, to all my subscribers, all the Patreons, everybody that's supported the channel over the last couple of years. Thank you very much. So without further ado, let's get back to the CD32. Let's get to it. This is the CD32 that I picked up a couple of weeks ago. This is the one that I was showing you in last week's video that we picked up. It does have a fault on it, and when you switch it on, nothing happens. It just sits dormant and does nothing at all for about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not going to sit here and let you watch a blank screen for 5-10 minutes. I will skip it through, but I just wanted to show you what it was doing before we open it up and take a look inside to see if we can rectify that fault. So I'm going to flick. So I'm going to flick the switch on now, and you'll see me switch it on, and then I'll pan you up to the screen and I'll show you what it's doing. There you go. As you can see, the power light's on. We have got no signal, zero signal at all coming out of it. And that's what happens. You get nothing at all. So I'm just going to leave it on for 10 minutes now. And then I'm going to cut and I'll come back to you and let you have a look when I switch it off and switch it back on again. And let's see if it makes a difference. So just a quickie for you, you can see that the CD32 is still on. Sorry about the artifacts on screen, that's what you get through recording. But I'm just going to switch that off now and try and switch it back on again. It's been 5 minutes, so let's see if that works. Nope, we still have no input. So as you can see, I switched it off, switch it off, switch it back on, and nothing. So we'll give it another 5 minutes and we'll come back to you then. So that's been another 5 minutes, so we're now at 10 minutes. If it doesn't work, I will give it another 5 minutes, but we'll see now. You can see the blue haze from my screen at the top there. We've still got no signal. So I'm just going to flick that switch and switch it back on again, and let's see if we get something. We've got a hard drive read. So we've got a hard drive read. I saw that, did you? I don't know whether you did or you didn't. If you watch down here, if I switch it off, you'll see that hard drive light up. So I think it's about on now. So I'm just going to try and switch it off and back on again. So did you see that? What also it doesn't do as well when it's not working is it doesn't spin the disc. So I'm just going to pop a disc in and let's see if it does. It is reading a hard drive, look. You can see it trying to read something. So let's pop that in there. So the disc's spinning now, as you can see, but it doesn't normally spin. So again, another 5 minutes has passed. We saw the power light come on and the activity light on the hard drive come on and the disc started to spin, but we still didn't have any picture. So I'm going to switch it on now and let's see if we've got a picture. Yay! Look, see? So I've got the power light on. The disc is starting to spin up, as you can see there. And we have CD32 kicking in up there. I think the audio's down, so... Oh. Have I muted it? No. So we don't have any sound coming through there, but we did before when we had it on downstairs. I'm not too worried about sound, it's probably just how I've got it wired. So you can see that the CD32 actually does work after it's been switched on for about 10-15 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tear it down and we shall have a look and see why it's doing this. I do have my suspicions that it's caps. I will be completely recapping it, but what I want to do at the moment is I just simply want to rectify this power supply. This powering issue, should I say. So you can see there that microcosm is fired up and it's running. Yeah, we don't have any audio out at the moment, but that's not an issue. I think I've just not got it plugged in correctly. So I'm just going to cut back now and unplug it and then let's rip it in bits and take a look and see what's going on inside. So here we are. I've taken the screws out. There's just 3 across the front and 2 at the back here. You have to take the back plate off as well. So I'm just going to lift the lid up now and then we'll take a look and see what's going on inside here. So if you just spin it over like that, we can see the ribbon cable inside here. Oops. You can see the ribbon cable that's inside here and this connector here. This is all for the CD unit. So I'm just trying to see if I can move that over a little bit for you. So this ribbon cable here is just like the Amiga A1200 where it has a little clamp down bracket. So what I'm going to do is just lift that little clamp bracket up like that. Let's see if I can see the other side to get to it. A bit fiddly is this one, so excuse me. See if I can get down that back side and lift it that way. Yep, that's popped up. That's popped up. So we should just be able to lift this little ribbon cable out now. That's that now. And we'll disconnect this connector on the end here and we'll take the CD unit out of the way. So what have we got now? So we've just got the tin shielding. It doesn't look like it's ever been off before. I don't know what that bit of squiggly stuff is in there. Let's just proceed and let's take this top shell off. Ooh, what have we seen in here? Let me see if I can scope you down to that. Can you see that capacitor? Look at that cap. So looking inside here, we've got the one just above it. I don't know if I can see just off the camera. Let's see if I can bring it in. That's it. That one's actually bulging at the top there. This one's also bulging and it's also leaked everywhere. I'll just pan you back out a little bit so you can see a little bit more. So yeah, so that one's got a great big bulge on it, and that one's definitely leaking. And if you look at that one, it's right near the power switch. So I'm suspecting that that cap is our issue. I'm just going to go around and have a quick look at the rest of the board. I'm looking at the other surface mounts. They don't look nice and shiny around the capacitors on these surface mounts. We're going to change these anyway because they need to be changed. There is a hell of a lot of capacitors inside here. But looking at this one here, that one just looks a little bit like it's starting to go discoloured. So I would say that that's cap's starting to leak. I would say that cap started to leak. And I would say that cap has, because you can sort of see going a bit crusty on that solder point just there. So yes, the board does need a complete recap. But what I'm going to do, I just want to rectify this powering issue, because we don't know whether it's in here or whether it's actually in the power supply itself. But looking at that cap, I would say that it's in here. So if you just bear with me a second, I'm just going to take a look and see what cap value that is. So that capacitor is at C408. I'll just have a quick look down the side, and it is a 100 UF, 10 volts. So I made a mistake there. It's not a 100, it's a 1000 UF at 10 volts. I'll just write that down, 1000 UF at 10 volts. So what I've got here is an Amiga A1200 cap kit. So I'm going to see if we've got a 1000, and let's have a quick look at that one. I wonder if it's the same value on that one. Yep, they're both 1000 and 10 volts, both of them. So let's have a look, see what's in this cap kit. I do have a couple of these cap kits. The 70s. 1000, nice. So them two capacitors will go into here. So we've got us two capacitors for here. So I'm going to pull these capacitors out now, and we're going to swap them for these ones. I also believe that them caps may actually be in the wrong way around. So if we're looking at these, we've got here, we've got the negative stripe on the cap that's going to this connection here, and we've got the negative stripe on the cap here that goes towards these resistors just here. So let's get them caps out. I've managed to remove them two caps. They were quite difficult, they didn't want to come out, which is normal when you're trying to desolder caps that have had corrosion from the electrolytic outside, from inside the capacitor itself. But I just want to show you, I don't know whether you can see, but if I go onto earth here, right, so I don't know whether you can see that on here or not, but there's a plus side there, look, it's telling us that should be plus, so this side should be minus. Same with this other capacitor over here, that says plus there, and that says minus. So the minus was pointing towards these resistors, and the minus on the capacitor were pointing towards this TP9. But if I put these on continuity test and put it onto earth and go to negative, we don't have anything. And if we go to negative on that side, we don't have anything. So if we go to positive, and we go to positive, so them two capacitors on that silk screen, it's been printed wrong on the silk screen. So we're going to be putting the capacitors in the opposite way to what the silk screen says, because that's earth, that's negative, that's negative. Both positives on there are a negative, and the negative doesn't do anything. The negative is a positive. So I'd be positively negative and negatively positive. So we now know anyway that this positive sides on these caps are actually an earth. So I'm just going to clean them out now and install the new caps, and we'll take a look at them. Let's have a quick look at this one. Oh, one of them. It's take a look underneath the underside. They don't actually look bad on the underside. I mean, that was the worst one. And it doesn't show anything at all, so it must have leaked out of the top, thankfully, because the board's absolutely clean. So I'm just going to clean them up now and get them 2 caps in, and then I'll come back to you. We've replaced these 2 caps now, which is on the power circuit for the unit. There is another one over this side, you can just see it. I threw one there, but it doesn't look bulged at the minute. As I said previously, I am going to completely recap this board because it does need it. They all need it, to be fair, but I just wanted to see whether we could rectify the boot power issue. So I'm going to just pan you up to the screen now, and I'm going to flick the switch. I do suspect it to come straight on because obviously it's already been powered up. So we're going to see if this switch is on, and then I'm just going to leave it for 24 hours with the power of YouTube, which will probably be in a few seconds for you guys. So I'm going to leave it while tomorrow morning, and we'll just see if it boots up again, and then we'll put it all back together. And then in another video, I'll do a complete recap video. There's plenty of recapping videos out there, so I didn't want to do a full complete recap today on this video. Right, let me get you panned up to the screen. Just before that, these are the 2 caps that I've replaced. You can see how badly bulging that is. I don't know whether you can see because it... See if I can get your scope on it. Can you see that, look? Can you see how bulging it is? That should be down. And the other cap. And the other cap. Now you can see it's all crusty on the top of it. And that one's also bulging if you look. If I turn it on the side, yeah. So you can see that both them caps are absolutely too bad. Let's just adjust the camera and let's get you back to the screen and let's see if this thing still works. Okay, so we're back up at the screen. I'm just going to flick the switch and let's see if this thing still works. So you can see there that there was an instant reaction. So at least we know we haven't screwed anything up by changing them 2 caps, and it's back up and running. So as I said, what I'm going to do now, I'll do it off screen. I'll just put it all back together, and tomorrow morning, which is a few seconds for you guys, we'll test it again and let's see if we have this 10-15 minute wait before it comes on. Let's see if that's disappeared now. Here we are, it's the following day. I'm just going to switch everything on now. I've not even turned the TV on yet, so I'm going to do that now. So let's put the TV on. Take a few seconds before the screen comes on. You should see the nice bright blue screen that you saw last time. There we go. So it's a bit difficult, this one, because I'm going to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pan like that so you can have a look. So let's flick that switch. Does it switch straight on? Take the date game out because I don't want it booted into a game just yet. Let's see if the volume's back up. Yep, put the volume on. Right. So I'm going to flick that switch now. And let's pan up. And as you can see, we've got instant reaction again. Power lights on. We've got black screen. It does take it a few moments to wake up. So that didn't cure it then. Let's just switch it off and switch it on again. Right, so we now know that it wasn't just them caps. We know that we need to do a complete recap on this system. So I'm just going to switch it off, because we know that the disc pulses when it first starts up. I mean, bear in mind it took 15 minutes to come on last time. So I switched it on and I saw the CD pulse, and then it stopped. It just moved an ever so slightly bit.
A few moments later.
Come on, baby. We've got the power drive light on now. And it's come on. So I'm just going to insert this disc. And let's see if it boots. So this started spinning away now. See the hard drive light flashing away. You guys can't see that, but I can. So yeah, it's up and running. It took about 3 minutes to come on this time. As you noticed, when I switched it on, it didn't do much. So I just left it for a couple of minutes and then tried again, and it came straight on. So we still have some issues, and it still does need a complete recap to bring this back up to full working order. But at least we know that we've got the CD32 starting up a damn sight quicker than what it actually did before. It was taking us about 10-15 minutes to get it to actually come on, and now it takes about 3 minutes. So that's just proof to show you that the caps do make a massive difference in the old units. Doesn't matter whether it's a Commodore or whether it's anything else. Anything that's sort of 30 years old with surface mount caps do need to be replaced. As you saw in the video, when we switched it on, it took about 10-15 minutes, roughly 10 to 15 minutes before we actually got anything on screen. When we tore it down, we found the two capacitors, the 1000 microfarad capacitors near the power switch that were bulging and popping. So we've replaced them ones, and it didn't cure it fully. But as you noticed, when we switched it back on the following day, it came on-ish. We got a black screen instantly. We didn't, like I said, we didn't get anything before. It just stayed blue, no signal. But this time it gave us a screen straight away, but still didn't come on. I switched it on and off a couple of times, and left it switched on about 3 minutes this time, and then it came on. So we've got a massive improvement. So that shows what the capacitors is doing or isn't doing in the system, as the case may be. So the CD32 is going to get a complete recap in another video. It is Easter, it is the bank holiday weekend, so I want to spend a little bit of time chilling out over the Easter weekend. In the previous video, I said once I reached 1000 subscribers, I'm never going to ask to subscribe again and hitting the notification bell, but I would like to hear from you in the comments. I am going to pop up the little thing what says subscribe, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do in the videos. So if you've enjoyed this video and you enjoy repair videos, you want to be checking out Josip Retro Bits, Retro for You, and Captain Commodore. They do some absolute fantastic stuff on there. If you don't like swearing, then I would say don't watch Captain Commodore's, because that's how he is, that's how he talks. He doesn't want to change for anybody, and that's fine. That's fine if that's what he wants to do. But yeah, check them channels out, guys. I think you'll enjoy them. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.